Our goats are literally freezing to death. It's been a mild winter until recently, but the last 1 to 2 nights have been insanely cold and very freezing at night. We desperately need to find a way to help them before we have a casualty. So let's explore 5 of the deadly winter goat care sins. And hopefully we can help you avoid the problems that we seem to be having. And let me tell you what, it was easier than I thought. Okay, I know what I should do. I should put a mattress in their goat sheds to make sure they have a good place to lay on. Nope. All you're actually gonna need is some bedding. Usually some straw if you have it. In this case, we had some Bermuda because that's just what the feed store has. You can even consider doing the deep litter method, which includes just layering new bedding on top of each other. And over time, the bottom layer will decompose, leading to more warmth where the goats are sitting. Well, I'm gonna next get some insulation and actually put it around all 4 goat walls and the top of the goat shed. No, not at all. That is a complete waste of money. All you really need to do is lower the amount of wind and drafts that come in each goat house. So really all you need to do is secure the roofs, the sidewalls, make sure they're not open or bending so there are holes in them, and that it keeps as much like warm air in there at night as possible. That's really it. You do not need insulation. It is a waste of money and they're probably gonna eat it, and it's bad for them to eat, so it's not worth it because it'll cause you more problems. Should I, jeez. Should I make sure to have umbrellas all over the place just to keep, that sucks. Oh man. Well, do I need to keep umbrellas around there? Damn, I guess that's broken. Do I need to put together lots of umbrellas around their goat shed to make sure that rain doesn't get on any speck of them? Nope, that is definitely not true. You just need to make sure that a roof has no leaks on it, unlike this one here that blew off with the wind. Just make sure that when your roof is on, you check for any leaks. You can use a hose to do that and make sure nothing is leaking and go ahead and patch that as necessary. And that's good enough to make sure that there's no water getting into your goats and to make sure they stay nice and dry. Well, they must need some sort of special diet with thermogenic diet agents to make sure their body heat stays warm and up during the wintertime, right? You're actually really close on that one. If you give your goats pellets, like in this case it's an alfalfa Bermuda blend, you want to give them a little bit of hay. In this case some Bermuda, but you can also give them alfalfa, and that helps provide a constant source of fiber and rumination for their stomachs, which is basically how they, digest food. And what that does is helps keep a lot of heat or a lot of core heat with them to help make sure that they can stay warm. So if you already give them hay, then well, you're golden already. Don't impale me. Well, good. See? Yep, I am nice. And last but not least, some heat. And last but definitely not least, heat lamps. Do not use them under any circumstances, well, most at least, don't use them to keep your goats warm. They not only cause a huge fire hazard, but they can overheat your goats super easily. You just don't really need them. The only time I would actually recommend using one, and using it very carefully with the way to monitor it, is if for some reason your goats kid in the middle of winter when it's, really cold outside. And then only for a very short period of time after kidding. That is the only time, otherwise, just don't use them. In all reality, goats can live just fine in the winter, whether it's snowing, rainy, or just very cold like it is here. As long as you follow the tips in today's video where they can stay dry, have less drafts in their house, that kind of thing, they will be just fine and perfect. It also helps that they don't immediately jump from summer directly into winter, because just like any other animal, it takes time for them to acclimatize? I think that's how you say it. Just like any other animal, it takes time for them to get used to the cold weather. And as it's shifting from summer to fall to winter, they're getting used to that transition slowly. So don't worry too much, as long as your goats don't have wind and are dry. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below. I'd love to help you guys out. And thank you guys very much. We'll catch you next time.